Greetings to you all. Welcome to Class 9, Unit 6, Prose, From Zero to Infinity, Book Back Exercise, Part 2. Dear children, already we have done till C section, match the words and all. And now let's do from listening section, page 156, D section, okay? Listen to the anecdote, two geniuses, and narrate it in your own words. Listen to the passage, two geniuses. Many people regard the scientist Albert Einstein as one of the 20th century greatest geniuses. He was a physicist whose research into the working of the universe made such inventions as nuclear energy, space travel, and television possible. Anecdotes about Einstein show that he had a great sense of humor. One such anecdote tells that as a young man with a growing reputation, he received many invitations to go to universities to explain his theories. On these trips, he was always chauffeured by the same person, a man called Hans. Hans often said to him, "It's a pleasure to drive a genius like you, Dr. Einstein." One evening, on their way to a remote university, Einstein said, "I wish I didn't have to give my lecture tonight, Hans. I'm so tired. But I can't let my audience down, can I?" "You don't need to," said Hans. "We'll change places, and I'll give the lecture for you. I have listened to it a dozen times. I don't understand it, but I know it by heart. And no one knows you at the university, do they? No one will find out." Einstein eventually agreed with Hans, but said to him, "Don't try to answer any questions, whatever you do." They changed places at the university. Hans was greeted and led to the platform in a great hall, crowded with professors and students. Einstein joined audience and listened to Hans give the lecture perfectly and joined in applause at the end. However, before Hans could get off the platform, a professor shouted from the audience, "I'd like to ask you a question. It's very difficult to please answer it." He then asked a question so difficult that Hans had no idea what he was talking about. Einstein thought, "Oh dear, now we are in trouble." But Hans just laughed and said, "That's not a difficult question, sir. In fact, it is so easy. Even my driver knows how to answer it." Hans stood up and said. Einstein stood up and answered the question perfectly. They left the university with Einstein driving. A little later, Hans offered to take over from him. "No, my friend," laughed Einstein. "It's a pleasure to drive a genius like you." So I hope you understood. Purilana innoru short சொல்லி கொடுத்துறேன். So Einstein, you know. So actually the matter is, Einstein was supposed to give a talk. சரியா, யூனிவர்சிட்டியில். பட் he said, "I'm not feeling well, I can't, I'm so tired, முடியல அப்படின்றாரு. Driver, he came forward. "So don't worry, sir. What you do, I have listened to your lecture so many times. So today I will give lecture instead of you. உங்களுக்கு பதில நானே பண்ணிக்கிறேன். நான் தான் உங்களோட லெக்சர் பல முறை கேட்டிருக்கேன் இல்லையா, மனப்பாடம் ஆயிடுச்சு. ஆல் ரைட், கேரி ஆன்" அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. அங்கே போயிட்டு ஆனால் யாராவது கொஸ்டின் கேட்டாங்க மட்டும் ஆன்சர் சொல்லக்கூடாதுன்னு ஐன்ஸ்டைன் சொல்லிட்டாங்க. ஓகே, டன். ஸோ ஐன்ஸ்டைன் இஸ் சிட்டிங் இன் த ஆடியன்ஸ் area and is chauffeur. It means driver is giving the lecture. எல்லாம் முடிஞ்சது, கிளாப் எல்லாம் ஓவர். திடீர்னு one voice is coming, "Sir, one doubt and all." அப்போ now it is like a changing, ஆள் மாறாட்டம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க இல்லையா. So he said, "Okay, this is a simple question only. Even my driver knows how to answer it." அப்படின்னு சொல்லி உண்மையான ஐன்ஸ்டைன் கிட்ட விட்டுட்டாங்க. So Einstein also answered it perfectly fine. So okay, this is an anecdote. Anecdote-na மறக்க முடியாத அனுபவம், மறக்க முடியாத சம்பவம், like that. Fine, children? Okay. Now shall we narrate it in our own words? Albert Einstein was a great scientist. He used to travel to different universities to give lectures. In all his trips, His car was driven by the same chauffeur, Hans. Once he had to travel to a remote university. Einstein said that he was very tired and it would be difficult for him to give the lecture. His chauffeur, Hans, told him that since he heard his lecture many times, he knew it very well and he was ready to give the lecture that day. No one from the university had seen him, so it was not difficult to exchange their places. Einstein became Hans and Hans became Einstein. Einstein asked him not to answer any question. As planned, Hans gave the lecture and got applause at the end. By the time one professor got up and asked one difficult question, Hans said, "It is a simple question. My chauffeur will answer this." Then Einstein got up and answered the question. Fine, children. Okay, now you'll understand better. Moving on to speaking section, E section, okay. Divide the students into groups of 5 and conduct a group discussion on the topic importance of mathematics in our everyday life. The teacher will act as the moderator. Shall we do importance of mathematics in our everyday life? A knowledge of maths is essential as we buy fast moving consumer items and pay the due amount of money after calculation. We tend to change to the vendors, booking clerks, conductors, and so on. Unless we have knowledge of maths, we will be likely to be taken for a ride. We need a knowledge of maths in daily life. For example, working out the dose of medicine, paying rent, and school fees, etc. involve mathematical knowledge. Family budgeting is a very important task. Without knowing the math, income and expenditure cannot match. Fine, children. Okay, moving on to reading section. Automated teller machine, it means ATM, is an indispensable part in our lives now worldwide. John Shepherd Barron once explained that he came up with the idea of cash dispensers in 1965 while lying in his bath. After finding his bank closed, it was then his habit to withdraw money on a Saturday, but on a particular weekend he had arrived 1 minute late and found the bank doors locked against him. Later that year, he bumped into the chief general manager of Barclays Bank, who was about to have lunch. Shepherd Barron asked him for 90 seconds to pitch his idea for a cash machine. I told him, I have an idea that if you put your standard Barclays check through a slot in the side of the bank, it will deliver standard amounts of money round the clock. He said, come and see me on Monday morning. Barclays commissioned Shepherd Barron to build 6 cash dispensers, the first of which was installed at a branch in the North London suburb of Enfield on June 27, 1967. The first person to withdraw cash was actor Reg Varney, a celebrity resident of Enfield known for his part in a number of popular television series. An early employment of the device outside of the UK took place in Zurich in November 1967. Shepherd Barron was born at Shillong, India in 1925 to British parents and later served in the Indian Army in 2nd Airborne Division, where he taught Gurkhas to parachute. He also invented the PIN, PIN, to recalling his Indian Army number. He had originally intended to make personal identification number PIN 6-digit long, but reduced the number to 4 when his wife Caroline complained that 6 was too many. Over the kitchen table, she said she could only remember 4 figures. So because of her, 4 figures became the world standard recalled. All this was possible due to the mathematical prodigy by the name of Srinivasa Ramanujan, a mathematical genius of India. When you put your debit or credit card in the machine and order the machine to dispense the amount of your desire, the machine divides and arranges your money before dispensing it, using Ramanujan's partition theory. Okay, moving on to question answers, F section. Answer the following questions based on the given passage. Shall we do? Okay, first question is, what made John Shepard Barron to come up with an idea of ATM? One day when he usually went to the bank on Saturday to withdraw money, unfortunately, he was late by minutes, so he couldn't withdraw money. This made him come up with the idea of ATM. Second question, when and where was the first ATM installed? The first ATM was installed on June 27th, 1967 at Barclays Bank branch in the North London suburb of Enfield. Third one, who was the first person to withdraw cash from the ATM? இதெல்லா questions answer எங்க இருக்குது? In the passage. If you have not listened properly, you listen and write. Okay. The first person to withdraw cash was actor Rick Varney. Fourth one, why did Shepard Barron reduce the PIN number from 6 digits to 4? A. 6 digit in the PIN, 4 amarche. His wife said that she could not remember 6 digit number, so he reduced the PIN number to 4 digits. Fifth one, which theory of Ramanujan helps the ATMs to dispense cash? Ramanujan's partition theory helps the ATMs to dispense cash. Fine, children? Okay, now moving on to writing section, paragraph writing. A paragraph discusses one idea in detail and aids the development of overall topic for the essay. Paragraph length will vary depending on the purpose of the paragraph. ஒரு paragraph எப்படி இருக்கணும் அது parts of paragraph எப்படி இருக்கணும் first paragraphனாக்கா the basic paragraph consists of 3 parts: a topic sentence, supporting details, a concluding sentence. Topic sentence என்ன? The main idea of each paragraph is stated in a topic sentence. Generally, the topic sentence is the first sentence of a paragraph. All subsequent points made in the paragraphs should support the topic sentence. That is first topic sentence. மற்றதுக்கெல்லாம் சேர்ந்து ஒரு கருவாக இருக்கிறது. Supporting details. Supporting details elaborates upon and prove the topic sentence. Supporting details should be drawn from a variety of sources. The following are common sources of supporting details. For example, expert opinion, research studies, brief stories, personal experience, facts and statistics, interviews. Then, how to do concluding sentence? Each paragraph should end with a concluding sentence that ties together the ideas brought up in the paragraph and emphasizes the main idea one last time. So that is only concluding sentence. Okay, model paragraph is given below. Shall we write? An unconventional pianist. Glenn Cloud is widely regarded as Canada's most famous and eccentric pianist. He is renowned for his recordings of the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. For example, Bach's Goldberg Variations. Cloud's first recording was among the best-selling classical music albums of its time. Cloud is also famous for his unusual behavior. He would only play concerts while sitting on an old chair his father had made, and he usually hummed while he played. Contrary to most pianists, he disliked playing in concert halls. He devoted most of his career to the recording studio until his death in 1982. In brief, Glenn Cloud was an unconventional pianist who made a significant impact on the world of music. Okay, so the blue la irukradhalla topic sentence, brown la irukradhu supporting details, in the color nor blue supporting details, then end is called as concluding sentence. Okay, now our assignment is write a paragraph of 100 to 120 words about memorable anecdote or incident of your life. Okay, நம்மளோட own anecdote எழுதணும். plenty இருக்கும் இல்லையா உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையிலேயே, அதையே ஓனா எழுதிக்கோங்க. that's all. So what I'll do, I'll just give my own anecdotes. Okay, என்னோட own anecdotes which were published in Indian Express a long time back. In 1994 itself it was published. So such things I'll just read. Okay. All right, children. It was published in Saturday, August 1996 in Indian Express Madurai edition, Kids Kingdom. A gesture that brought us closer. இதுதான் கரெக்டுன்னு தெரியல, நான் எழுதினது ஒரு 30-40 இயர்ஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி எழுதினது. ஜஸ்ட் ஐம் எக்ஸ்பிரஸிங். It was the afternoon of the last day of an academic year. 10 years back, I was studying in 6th standard in Kanyakumari Public School during 1986. We were returning home in school bus then. It was time for my best friend to get down as her was the next stop. I couldn't bear the departure of my friend, as it would be 2 long months before I saw her again. அதாவது என்னோட ஃப்ரெண்டு நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாப்பில் இறங்கிடுவாங்கன்னு ஒரு ஃபீலிங்ஸ், அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். Tears rolled down my cheeks and I caught her hands tightly and promised her to continue her studies next year in the same school. Suddenly, I remembered the plantains that were in my bag, which my mom gave me to eat in the afternoon. I quickly peeled it out and put it in her mouth to eat. Before she could eat, the conductor called her to get down. She got down simply wiping her hands on her own brown skirt. With tears in her eyes, I continued to say goodbye till her image faded. 2 days later, she went to wash her clothes with her in a lake. When she saw her plantain stain in her skirt, she didn't want to wash it. She returned home without washing that particular skirt. புரிஞ்சுதா? பஸ்ஸில் போயிட்டுருக்குறோம், அவளோட ஸ்டாப் வந்துருச்சுன்னு இறங்கிட்டா, அவளோட கையில் இருந்த வாழைப்பழம் சரியா பாதி மவுத்துலேயும் பாதி கையில் கொடுத்துருந்தா இல்லையா, அதை சாப்பிட்டுட்டு அப்படியே ஸ்கர்ட்டில் தொடச்சிட்டா. இது நிஜமாக நடந்த சம்பவம் தெரியா, ஐ எம் நாட் டெல்லிங் எனி திங். ஓகே, தொடச்சிச்சு. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் டே வென் ஷி வென்ட் டு டேக் பாத் ஆர் வாஷ் த திங், ஷி சா த பிளான்டன் ஸ்டெயின். வாழைப்பழத்தோட கரை இருந்தது, அது வாஷ் பண்ண பிடிக்கல. ஞாபகார்த்தம் பிருந்தா ஞாபகமா. After that, whenever she saw the skirt, she cried for our friendship. The days passed into months. After 2 long summer months, the school reopened. When we met together, our happiness knew no bounds. We shared our love by kissing each other's hands. Then she told me that she didn't wash the plantain-stained skirt and cried whenever she saw it. I asked her to bring it the next day. When she did, without my knowledge, my eyes also swelled with tears when I saw the plantain-stained skirt with teardrops in it. ஃபஸ்ட்டு பிளான்டின் ஸ்டெயின் மட்டும் இருந்தது, அப்புறமா அதில் கண்ணீரும் வந்துருச்சு. ஓகே, ரீகாலிங் தட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன் வென் வி செட் குட் பை இஸ் அன்ஃபர்கெட்டபிள் அண்ட் வர்த் ரிமெம்பரிங். தோ தி இன்சிடென்ட் ஹேப்பன்ட் அ லாங் பேக், இட் இஸ் ஸ்டில் green in my memory. Okay, actually I have changed the name here. My Kirubai is such a true and good friend. Here, the banana stain in the skirt means much more than a dirty uniform. Okay, written by Brinda. At that time, I was working in AVRMV English Medium School, Ambasamudram. Okay, this is one incident. Like that, plenty of incidents are there. Plenty of articles published in different newspapers. Dear children, one thing you should know, that why I take this much pain to do all these means not to exaggerate about me or to tell about me. என்னை பற்றி சொல்கிறதுக்காக இல்லை. I just wanted to motivate you, inspire you. நீங்களும் எழுதலாம். இது ஒன்லி ஒன் பர்சன் கேன் ரைட், நாட் லைக் தட். எல்லாரும் எழுதலாம். உங்களுக்கும் இதை விட சூப்பர் மெமரிஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்கும் சரியா. ஸோ யூ ஆல்சோ ஸ்டார்ட் ரைட்டிங். இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு ஸ்டார்ட் ரைட்டிங், யூ கேன் ஜாயின் டு ரைட்டர்ஸ் வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப் அண்ட் கிரியேட் ரைட்டர்ஸ் மேகசின். You will be, your writing will get polished. Our next question is, write a paragraph of 100 to 120 words about your favorite personality. My favorite leader is Mahatma Gandhi. He was born in Porbandar of Gujarat, India on 2nd October 1869. After passing the metric examination, he went to England for higher studies. Gandhiji completed his law in England and came back to India in 1893. He started his career as a lawyer. The social life of Gandhiji started in South Africa. He discovered that the white men were ill-treating the dark Indians there. He himself was tortured and insulted by a white often. Gandhiji fought against the unjust and cruel treatment. He observed satyagraha, there and became successful. Gandhiji returned to India and took part in freedom fight. He was sent to jail many times. He became famous as the father of the nation. Lastly, India won freedom on 15th August 1947. Gandhi's style of living was very simple. He was a follower of simple living, high thinking. He taught us the lesson of ahimsa. He removed the caste barriers in India. He was a reformer. He was shot dead by an Indian on his way to attend a prayer on 30th January 1948. Mahatma Gandhi is remembered for the two principles, truth and non-violence. Fine, children. So I hope you understood. We will do grammar part in the next episode. So you can also keep on writing. Only by writing, speaking, you can improve everything. All the small anecdotes, மறக்க முடியாத அனுபவங்களை சேர்த்து வச்சு you can write a autobiography. Fine, friends? Okay. I'll just share a few now.